Then answered Yahawashi and said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do. For what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. For the Father loveth the Son, and showeth him all things that himself doeth, and he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. For as the Father raiseth up the dead, and quickeneth them, even so the Son quickeneth whom he will. For the Father judgeth no man, but hath committed all judgment unto the Son, that all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honoureth not the Son honoureth not the Father which hath sent him. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word, and believeth on him that sent me, hath everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God, and they that hear shall live. For as the Father hath life in himself, so hath he given to the Son to have life in himself, and hath given him authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man. Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming, in the which all that are in the graves shall hear his voice, and shall come forth, they that have done good, unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil, unto the resurrection of damnation.
Rawchaa Yahawashi, Rawchaa Yahawah, Rawchaa Yahawah, Rawchaa Yahawashi.
All right, shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praises to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. You know, the name of the Heavenly Father everybody ignorantly calls God is Yahawah. Bahasham means in the name of in the ancient Hebrew. And Yahawashi is the Holy One of Israel from the tribe of Judah, a so-called Negro, who everybody ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who was slain at the foundations of the earth for the elect, you know, on this side, and for the salvation of Israel after the destruction, 2/3. And the Rawchaa Qadash is the Holy Spirit. So I always want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who led me to this truth, and have been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and so forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord, wouldn't we part of that number? Lord, wouldn't this be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities? So this is a short children's video the Lord put spirit on me to go and deal with, you know, and also, you know, shalom to all you sincere believers in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi out there, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Rawchaa, Qadash, Barak, Atham. And like I said, we're going to get into this lesson, and the title is, this is what it looks like telling 2/3 to enter the straight gate, which is salvation, you know, and the only people who can receive salvation is Israel, which in the scriptures, when you look in Genesis chapter 10, it talks about, actually Genesis chapter 35, verse 10, it talks about Jacob, his name is changed to Israel. So that is who Israel is, the seed line of Jacob. the descendants of Abraham and Isaac. Those are the only ones who can receive salvation. But when you look into Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, it talks about 2/3 of our people are going to get cut off and die here because they don't want to come to this truth. They don't want to come to the realization that, we were scattered across the four corners of the earth and we have been worshiping other gods. That's why it says in Deuteronomy chapter 28, it talks about how, the Lord would scatter us if we didn't commit commit the righteous acts, if we didn't do the laws, and we would worship other gods. And 2/3 of our people still want to worship these false gods like Jesus Christ. That's one of the biggest main ones that our people want to worship is Jesus Christ. So we're going to go into this and we're going to show you kind of a little children's game. It's kind of old. I'll show you this what it looks like trying to tell 2/3 of our people to go on a straight gate. So Lord willing, is edifying to the flock. Then we're going to get into some precepts. Shalom, bro. Bahasham, Bahasham, Qadash, Barak. Shalom. So we're going to get into this, make it real quick. And most people have heard of this game. It's called Wii Bowling. Okay, right? Something real simple. It's easy for children to understand. Okay. So you want to look at this game like, you want to look at it like this is you, right? And let's not say it's you. Let's just say it's a random Israelite. And we're telling them, look, we're at the bowling alley. Your job is to stay in your lane and bowl. Okay, stay straight. Stay on your lane. Don't go nowhere else. All right, Jake, you can do this. Let's see what 2/3 of our people, let's see what they do. All right. Oh, all right, try again. Oh, damn. Oh, that's all right, you got it. Oh, damn. Hold on, where you going? See, it's right there, straight gate. You got it. Wait, where you going, Jake? Why are you going over there? That ain't your lane. Jake, come on, man. See, hold on, wait, Jake, straight gates over there, Jake. Where you going? All right, where you going? Jake, Jake don't want to listen. 0 pins, ain't hit a damn thing. Nothing. Straight buzzer. Okay. That's what it's like telling 2/3 to enter the straight gate. They bowling all over the place. They throwing it behind them. Damn, they're hitting somebody in the crowd. That's why we don't, after we try to teach you this a couple times, it's like, whatever, bro. You're not going to listen. And that's how it is for Jake. He don't want to listen, man. We tell them, stay in your lane, go straight. They go left, right, backwards, up, down. They don't just go straight. 2/3 of our people are doomed here. They're never going to get it. So this is Isaiah. You can tell Jake all day. And he's not going to listen. He's going to bowl everywhere else. And be like, you got it, Jake. It's right there. Just go straight. He's going to go everywhere else because he doesn't want to listen. And that's how 2/3 of our people are. It's Isaiah chapter 30, verse 21. And it reads, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, right? He was bowling, right? He was like we was behind him. We were saying, wait, this is the way, Jake. Go straight, right? This is the way. Walk ye in it. When ye turn to the right hand and when ye turn to the left. See, it's a straight path, one truth, one doctrine. It's got to be all correct. Can't have half doctrine, And it says in Deuteronomy, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. Because you got to remember, the Israelites were carried over here, from the other side of the world. Because when you read verse 68, Deuteronomy 28, verse 68, it says he will bring us into Egypt again on ships. What is that talking about? The Atlantic slave trade. Okay? That's what it's talking about. And just before that, the Lord said this. He said, if we didn't do what he said do, we would go into another nation and we would worship other gods. And our forefathers wouldn't know those gods. And one of those gods is Jesus Christ. Okay? That's a false god. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64, because nobody was speaking in English in that time. We were speaking Hebrew as Israelites. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. Right? Let's actually start at 63. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do good and to multiply you, the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you. See, he destroyed us. He destroyed our heritage because we didn't listen to what he said to do. We didn't follow the commandments, right? And bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. See, we were stripped out of Israel. Verse 64, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. That's how we know that Israel, who's over there right now, in the land right now, that's not really Israel. Because it says that we will be scattered and we wouldn't be returned there until when? Until Yahawashi, who everybody ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, come back and take over the kingdoms. Okay? And destroy all the other nations. So it says, will scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods. One of those other gods is Jesus Christ. Okay? It's not our people. That's not our God. Like when you look up, type in Jesus Christ, what is it? It's a so-called white man. They took us into slavery. Why would they save us? Why would they come back and save us? They want to put us in slavery. That doesn't make sense. This is supposed to make sense to real life, right? Which either thou nor thy fathers have known. They didn't know who Jesus Christ was because J's wasn't invented until 1542. So nobody knew who Jesus Christ was until the 1500s when who was doing what? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, came out and made that in the Renaissance era, okay? Or the rebirth. That's what Renaissance means, rebirth of Wu, the so-called white man. It was Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. They had a contest, and that's that picture that you see of Jesus Christ. That's that contest. That's that picture that you see. That's what they did. You go look that up. That's history, So it says, neither thy fathers have known even wood and stone. And what do they carry around? That wooden cross. You got people worshiping certain idols that's made of wood, stone, Buddha, all this stuff, man. And that's what happened to us. We were put under the curses. These are part of the curses that we went through. But the Lord's waking us up because it's the end. And it's time for Jake to come home. But what's 2/3 do? They going all over the place. They still want to worship Jesus Christ. They don't want to come back to the ways of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. It's because the Lord don't want them to. Because it's part of prophecy that they won't. So that's why we don't keep telling you over and over again. You're going to believe, and, maybe the first time you don't believe, then something happened to you and you come back like, oh, okay, something happened and I'm starting to believe. And, then you might come into the truth. But, if we try to tell you twice, it says after we tell you twice, just leave you alone because the Lord doesn't want you. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. And this is Yahawashi speaking. And it reads, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. So there's many other ways that you can go, but if it's not that straight truth, that path of 100% truth that we got from the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, that was taught to us, that was given to them, by the Father, because it said in John chapter 17, verse 6, that the Lord, he said that he manifested his name unto the men that the Father gave him out of the world. And you remember when you was reading, when you see the little intro, it talks about in the book of it talks about it in the book. Hold on, just let me make sure, because I know exactly what book it is, but I want to go to the exact scriptures. But it talks about how Yahawashi is the one who judges. The Father doesn't judge. He gave out all that authority to his Son. That's his job. And that's why, you don't want to just worship, the Heavenly Father. You want to also worship his Son, because that's our mediator. But you got people saying that that's going off. Other camps, other people who are teaching are saying that's going off. But when you look in the book of John, chapter 5, verse 19 through 29, we might read it at the end. Who knows? It depends on what the Spirit is, wants me to do. So back to the lesson. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. And that's really talking about the 2/3, because the other nations, they're not meant to be saved. They're not meant to be saved. The Lord's coming to save his people, Israel, and that's what the scriptures are telling us. It's not what we're saying, it's what the scripture's telling us. And just like I said in John, the Lord manifested his name unto the men that he gave out of the world. The Lord didn't manifest his name to African Americans, okay? Because Africa goes back to a Roman, okay, named Africanus. That's a so-called white man. That's not our lineage. It's not we're not Africans. We're Israelites. And in 70 AD, when Rome raided Israel, we ran into Africa. That doesn't mean that we're Africans just because we ran into Africa. We're just Israelites in Africa, But they want to, people want to say we're from the motherland or whatever. No, we're not from there. Now, you got some Israelites, you got the foreign Israelites. Some of us look like Africans, but their seed line goes back to who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to the seed line of the Father, So verse 14, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and there few there be that find it. See, so you got all these churches out here talking about they saved. That's a lot of people. They're not finding the straight gate. They're trying to go their own way. That's not the straight gate. The straight gate is hidden to the majority of the world. You see? And most people think it's not a big deal. But you will. This is Luke chapter 13, verse 24, and it reads, strive, right? We're supposed to be striving to get into the straight gate. Most people take it as a joke. So Luke 13:24, strive to enter in at the straight gate, for many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. And you literally got the Lord's men, his prophets out here showing you how to get there. And that's a lot of reasons why people won't be able, because a lot of people proud. They look at us like we can't show you the way, especially us younger brothers like me, You got an older guy come in the truth. He don't want to take no orders from a younger man because, he's still in a Western mindset, a worldly mindset. You got to be in the spirit to understand, you can't looks on the way you look in the physical has nothing to do with the spiritual world. It says as it is on earth as it is in heaven, but it says everything that here is hope is not hope. So you can't just look everything at face value and just think that's what it is. You got to test the spirit. You got to see if it's really a spirit, but you can't do that if you don't even know how to control your own spirit. And that's what we have elders and apostles for, to teach us how to do that, so we can be able to understand who's who, So this is Jeremiah You know, if it was easy enough for you to just go to church on Sunday and get saved, there'd be a whole lot of people getting in the straight gate. But it's not how it works. You know, you have to be of the elect, and those are the ones who endure to the end, and they teach sound doctrine. Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 16, thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths. See, we're going back to a path that's already been paved. That's why a lot of people here can't get it, because it's already been made. It's the days of old. We're going back to the real way the Bible was taught. So when we say Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, people look at us like, what are you talking about? Because that name was not here. You know, it was basically crucified in this nation. Because why? Because they crucified the Messiah. The Romans did. And this is the revived Roman Empire. That's why you go to school, you learn Roman numerals. The Colosseums is like the football stadiums. You look up Monday through Sunday. There's never, where does it say in the Bible, Monday, Sunday, Tuesday? Where does it say that? It doesn't say it anywhere. And when you look up those names, they're named after Roman gods, all of them. And they put it in all types of shows and everything. Like that one show, it was this little girl called Wednesday, and she's part of the Athams family. And the name Wednesday, that Wednesday, that day, Wednesday is named after it's like some kind of god, I can't remember, but it's a Roman god named Woden. You go look that up. All this stuff goes back to Roman theology. This is the revived Roman Empire. And spiritually, Sodom and Egypt, as it says in Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. That's why there's pyramids on the dollar. That's why we're in slavery here, just like old Egypt, you know. And this time, the so-called white man is who? Pharaoh. Last time, it was the so-called Africans, the Philistines. You know, those are the old Egyptians, you know. But today, it's that same story, you know. And the Lord's going to save Israel out of Egypt. But this time, it's going to be on a mass scale. But what do 2/3 want to do? They don't want to walk in the straight gate, so they're going to die here. So, right? So, thus saith the Lord, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, stand ye in the ways and see, come on, spiritually, and ask for the old paths. You have to ask for the old paths. You don't just get them. You have to ask. You have to know who to ask. And it's the elders and apostles of great millstone. You got people out here telling you who to ask, and people still don't want to do it, right? Where is the good way? And walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, what 2/3 say? We will not walk therein. That's what they said. Just like when we watched the little video of the Wii Sports little thing, and dude was bowling backwards, he was bowling everybody else's lane. We like, Jake, go straight. Jake don't want to listen, man. He's stuck. He's stuck on doing things his own way, and that's what's going to get him killed. Hosea chapter 14, verse 9, and it reads, who is wise? And he shall understand these things, right? Prudent, and he shall know them, for the ways of the Lord are right, right? And the just shall walk in them. See, and we're all going to walk that same path, a straight path, a straight understanding. As it also says in Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 9, we'll come under one pure language, one consent. That's the ancient Hebrew, and that one consent is who? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. That's what we're doing. Scattered across the four corners of the earth. That's what you're seeing right now. I'm just one brother out of a numerable amount of us, you know, right? So the just shall walk in them, but the transgressors shall fall therein. You see, transgression means to go against the law. That's 2/3 of our people. And the biggest one they do is what? They worship in false idols like Jesus Christ. And we constantly tell them that's not the way. Walk this way. They're like, no, we don't want to do that. We want to walk this way. All right, bye. We've done our job, because that's what the Lord's doing. He's got his men out here saying, who is with Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi? And after we get done with that, game over. Everybody in this motherfucker gonna wish they loved Yahawah, Yahawashi. And you're gonna be in bad situation. And we're not gonna come save you. We can't even save ourselves. We're just his messengers. We're here to give you a warning. And when you look in the scriptures, the word angel in the Hebrew means malak. Okay, when you look up that word, it says angel, or it says king, or it says what? Messenger. We're giving you a message, and we're giving you the same one. You know that what? Israel, you need to repent, man. Israel, you need to repent. That means what? Change your mind completely and not lean on your own understanding, or the Lord's going to put you to death very soon. Isaiah chapter 35, verse 8. And an highway shall be there, right? Right? And a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. Holiness needs to be set apart. You know, all these different denominations and churches out there talking about Pentecostal, Baptist, whatever, Protestant. Those are not holy ways. Those are not separate from the world. All of them got a 501c tax write-off, and all of them get money from the government. All of them are tied to the government. We're not tied to the government like that. We're just slaves. We just work here under everybody else. And we don't make money off the truth. We just tell you the truth. You know, this is our heritage. This is not a religion to us. It's our heritage. This is what was taken from us. And we're finna get it back. You know, right? The unclean shall not pass over it, right? So not everybody's going to get on this highway. But what the church say? Everybody can be saved. The Lord's come back to save everybody. No, he's not. Right? And it shall be for those, the wayfaring men, though fools, shall not err therein. You see? Those true followers in Yahawah, Yahawashi are going to be on this highway. And you don't have a choice. If the Lord wants you to be saved, he's going to make sure you do everything to get saved from what? Destruction. Especially if you're looking through this camera and you're watching this right now and you're in America, Babylon the Great. You ever heard of the Lake of Fire? This is where we're at. It's going to be 200 million intercontinental ballistic missiles touched down here and set everything on fire. You're going to realize that hell isn't some place that you burn forever. It's right here. Hell just means the grave or the conditions of living under your enemies. That's why they call this place the so-called white man's heaven and so-called black man's hell, because it's hell for us here. We're at the bottom of everything. People don't take us as something light. They take us as, you know, somebody you don't want to get understanding from. And that's why many people are not going to walk in the straight gate, because they don't want to take instructions from Jake. They think that Esau, even the so-called white man, got everything figured out. We're going to find out. Galatians chapter 1, verse 10. For do I now persuade men or the Most High? Right? Yahawah. We do this to persuade Yahawah. We don't care if other people don't believe in us. That doesn't matter. He controls your body and mine. So if he knows that I care, that's all that matters. And if I warn you and you say you don't care, my job's good. Your blood's off my hands. You know, we warned you. That's our job. Right? Or do I seek to please men? Right? And we don't do that. You know, but when it comes to the brotherhood, we want to gain love with the brotherhood, because it talks about how you treat Yahawashi. You know, Yahawashi's men is how you treat him. So the brotherhood is the way to the kingdom, because that's who the Lord's coming to get first. The 144,000 elect men, 12,000 in each tribe. So you're a man of the Lord, right? You got a 1 out of 12,000 chance, and whatever tribe you're in, to be one of those men he chose since the dawn of time to do what? Come destroy everything this motherfucker who thinks Bahasham is a game. Okay? They're meant. Most of them are on the planet right now. Some of them are still in the spirit world, but when the time comes, the Lord's going to activate all of them. They're going to come down here and they're going to get busy. And everything that thinks that it's ruling is going down. Everything. Right? For if I yet please men, I should not be a servant of Hamashiach. And when we say Hamashiach, Salakia, that means the anointed. Or when you look in the Bible, it says Christ, but in the ancient Hebrew, it's Hamashiach. It means the anointed. You know, we're servants, messengers, We're here to give you a message. We're basically spiritual mailmen, or I would say judges, because that's what we're doing. We're judging the earth. We're seeing everything that's going down, and we're pointing it all out. We're filtering in through the articles every day, through the scriptures. We're marking everybody who doesn't believe in it and avoiding them. And the Lord's pointing out and seeing who's everybody's an enemy and who he's supposed to come save. Because it said Israel's a number that can't be numbered. So we got to sift everybody out and see who's Israel. And after that's done, game over. 1 John chapter 4, verse 13. Hereby know that we dwell in him and he in us, because he hath given us his spirit. You see, we have the spirit of what? Being able to do this work over everything else. Not everybody in the earth has the spirit to serve Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. There's not that many people on the earth that are going to do that. He said, out of 1,000 men, I find one. Out of 1,000 men. And he said, this is King Solomon speaking to in Ecclesiastes. He said, out of all the women on the earth, he said, I found none. Because it's not a woman's job. It's a man's job. A woman is supposed to aid the man. But since feminism has jacked everything up here and women think that they can run everything, there's not that many, righteous women left. So a lot of women are going to die because they don't want to take heed. They don't want to be under a man of the Lord. But you're going to want to be, when that time comes, when Jacob's trouble comes, you're going to want to be with one of us. And if you was just out here playing around, sleeping around with a bunch of men, being mean to men, using men for money, thinking that we're just something light, what do you think we're going to do? You're going to get left. So you need to make sure you're doing this. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, right? And heart is like really talking about your mind. In the Hebrew is la'ab. It means your mind, because your heart just pump blood. So you got to trust him with all your mind. You have to do what? Right? We're going to read it. And lean not unto thine own understanding. So you have to get rid of your own understanding to have this truth of what you think life is, But most women don't want to do that. They're like, whatever. And a lot of the men too. Oh, I'm a badass. I can do whatever. I'm strong. I can lift all these weights or whatever. I'm the toughest guy on the block. Ain't nobody ever beat me up. You got those men out there too. So they lean on their own understanding. But it says the wisdom of this world is foolishness to the Most High. So all of those people are going to get burned up for real. And that's why we be like, we don't want to be nowhere around you. Just stay over there. I got 2 more precepts and we done. We're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9. And I really want to look up a word. So we're going to go over here to the blue letter, the Concordance Bible. It's like an online concordance is what the elders taught us to use, because it's basically the authorized 1611 King James Version Bible. That's the closest we got to understanding, really what the Lord was saying. But you have to have the spirit too. You can't just read it. You have to have the spirit on you. Just like back in the day when Nebuchadnezzar took Daniel and threw him in the lion's den, and the lions ain't eat him. And then he had that dream, and he asked Daniel. He called all his soothsayers and his little magicians, and nobody could figure out. And then they called Daniel, and he went and prayed to the Lord, and the Lord gave him the vision, and he went and bring it back to him. We're at the bottom of that vision right now, the last leg of Rome. That's what he was talking about. And after that fell, it said a mountain covered the earth, filled the whole earth. And that's talking about the nation of Israel. That's coming. This whole system's going to come down. So Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9, the heart, which is your mind, is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So you don't even know your own mind. That's why I said don't lean on your own understanding. Because if you do, you're going to be like 2/3. You're going to be all over the place. You're going to be going left, right, up, down, and you're going to go everywhere but straight. See what I'm saying? On the highway. It's a spiritual highway. Verse 10. And I, the Lord, search the heart, right? The mind, and try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings, right? And it ain't talking about just some regular random fruit. It's not talking about handing out pears. It's talking about actions. We're going to look up that word fruit. And we're going to show you.
Strong's H6529. Peri.
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 Right? And of course it says, you know, fruit, produce, fruit, offspring, children, progeny of the rune, and then the one we want to deal with in this passage is fruit of actions, figuratively. This is what it's talking about in this passage. You got to have the spirit to know which kind of fruit it's talking about too. You can't just read the Strongs and be like, oh, I know what I'm talking about. Like, you have to have the spirit on you to get what it's saying, because you one part of your doctrine mess up one thing, you know, the Lord will get rid of you. You're gonna have 100% truth or none. That's how this Bible is. And a lot of nations have touched this Bible and read it and made their own interpretation. And the Lord's about to destroy every single one of them, you know, because they didn't want to go by the order. And the Lord said, he set the apostles last, you know. That's why they're coming in now and teaching us only the past 40 years, because he said they're going to come last in the end of days. We're going to pull that up. So, right. And according to the fruit of his doings. Okay. And then we're going to go with this. Like you probably get one of our little 30-minute hour lessons, and you probably learn more from one of us than you have in church the whole year. Like, that's really how we doubted, you know, the elders and apostles taught us. We know the word. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9. For I think that the Most High, which is Yahawah, set forth us, the apostles, last, right? As it were appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. So everybody look at us like it's like a show. Well, you know, you're about to find out. It's going to have a grand finale, and it's going to be slain bodies all over the place. And the only people that's going to survive is the remnant of Israel. And everybody else who survives outside of that is going into slavery. For real talk. And 2/3 is going to come back in the kingdom, and they're going to realize they were the enemies, and they're going to be ashamed for a little bit. Then the Lord's going to wipe their tears, and they're going to be princesses and gods too, and princesses and priests. They're going to be gods too. That's why Israel is so important, because they're the only ones that get immortality. Everybody else is going to be servants for Israel forever, but they're going to be blessed because they're going to do what we say. They're going to get blessed, but they're not going to live forever. But they're going to live old. They're going to be strong, just like we were back in the day. You had Adam and them; they were living 900 years old. The heathen's going to be strong. They're going to live well, because to put them in slavery and make them build the whole kingdom, our kingdom, they're going to have to be strong as hell, because the Lord said the streets were paved with gold. Shit's supposed to look like it was built for an immortal nation. They're going to be strong. They're not going to be stronger than us. And they try to do anything, the Lord's going to come down on them with that rod of iron. This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 6. A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master, right? If then I be a father, where is mine honor? If I be a master, where is my fear? Right? Saith the Lord of hosts unto you, O priests, that despise my name. That's talking about 2/3 of the men of Israel who don't want to serve Yahawah, Yahawashi at this time right now. And ye say, wherein have ye despised thy name? Where have we despised thy name, right? That's what they said, right? Verse 7, ye offer polluted bread upon my altar, and ye say, wherein have ye polluted thee? And that ye say, the table of the Lord is contemptible, right? Right? Verse 8, and if ye offer the blind for a sacrifice, is it not evil? And if ye offer the lame and the sick, is it not evil? Offer now unto thy governor, will he be pleased with thee or accept thy person? Saith the Lord of hosts, right? And we're going to look up a word in a second. We're going to close out. Verse 9, I want to just put out something. Verse 9, now I pray you, beseech the Most High, which is Yahawah, that he will be gracious unto us. This have been by your means. He will regard your persons, Saith the Lord Bahasham of hosts, verse 10. And it says, who is there even among you that will shut the doors for naught? Neither do ye kindle a fire on mine altar for naught. I have no pleasure in you, saith the Lord of hosts. Neither will I accept an offering at your hand. And that's what he's saying to 2/3 of the men of Israel, because they're giving him a polluted offering. They're worshiping false gods. They're not teaching it the right way. They're not getting under the order of the elders and apostles of great millstone the Lord set up, who basically, in one West started going off. So they had to, stick with the doctrine and separate. But we're going to look up this word in verse 7. Okay. And then we go. We always want to look up a couple words at least. It's good to look up words because then you can get a better meaning of what's being said. But that's the one thing wrong with Jake. Jake don't like reading. Jake just want to argue and debate about stuff. We're not going to debate with you, Jake. We're going to tell you this the way you got to walk, and Lord willing, you walk that way, because if not, then you're through, We're really trying to help Jake, but we're just trying to help the Jake that actually care about Yahawashi. So we're going to look up this word, contemptible, right?
Strong's H 959.
It says to be
Bazar.
despicable, to be despised,
Bazar.
regard with contempt, disdain, contempt, to cause to despise, to be vile, worthless. And that's how 2/3 of the men of Israel think this doctrine is. They think this truth is worthless. And it's literally the most, precious thing that we have on the earth. It's literally salvation. And, 2/3 of our people, they're like, whatever. I want to, go to the club and watch a whole bunch of women shake their ass and get money, So that's why the Lord's like, oh, y'all, because they're supposed to be priests too. It says all of us are supposed to be priests now. Because it said Moses, spoke that, Yahawashi came out of the tribe of Judah, but it was nothing concerning priesthood. So basically all the men, we're supposed to be priests right now. We're supposed to be teaching the word the right way. And if you don't serve your obligation to Israel, when the Lord comes to destroy everybody for Israel, you're going to get destroyed with them. So that's my lesson. We're going to go back and play this one more time. And this is what it looks like when you tell Jake to enter into the straight gate, right? We're going to try one more time, Jake. Okay, this is your lane, okay? Right there. Oh, messing up again. All you gotta do is bowl straight. The straight gate right there. That's all you gotta do. Oh, messed up again. Where you going, Jake? Yep, right there. No, where you going, Jake? Why you going over there in their lane? Why you want to go over the lane with everybody else? Jake? Going everybody else in lane. Then bring the camera back over there. You're supposed to go that way, Jake. Lord then gave Jake a million tries. Teach Jake 100 damn times, and he got zero understanding of Yahawashi. That's what it looks like. It's like taking Jake to the bowling alley, and he done bowled in the left lane, the right lane. He done hit somebody behind him, and still ain't going straight, man. Whatever. We warned you. So shalom to elect Israel. to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. Want to give all praises to Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone, led me to this truth and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and so forth, the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord, wouldn't we part of that number? Lord, wouldn't this be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord and to strive and show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities? His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, it is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42, the water for tuning in. You sincere believers in Yahawah, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Bahasham, Qadash, Barak, Atham. And Lord, putting the spirit on me. This looks good. Look at this. Hold on. This is what the elect gonna look like when you tell them to enter in the straight gate. This is what the elect gonna do. They ain't gonna do it perfect. But I'll tell you this. They ain't gonna do nothing dumb. You know? They're gonna be good at it. Because it's gonna be natural to them. You know? I want to show one more little clip. Y'all over here on my comment board. Right here. This is what it looked like. Because this is what it looked like when the Lord tested his people who actually know to go on the straight gate. It's harder for us, but we still gonna make it. You know, Lord willing, we this number, this elect. Boom. Ow, boy. That's what it's gonna look like. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's gonna look like. For Jake that loves the Lord and gonna strive to enter in that straight gate. We gonna hit it. You know, Lord willing, we are that number. Peace and blessings to the elect. Kwame Yasharala. Shalom.